glasses.
I did.
Look at these things. That's cool. How did you do that?
Well,
It's a little spiral thing.
so yeah, it's called a reticello pattern.
Okay.
It's an old Italian technique that it has been adopted into the Boro world.
The Boro world?
Correct.
What's that?
So Boro is borosilicate glass.
Okay.
It's like Pyrex, kind of what all your cooking stuff is made out of.
Mm-hmm.
Dishwasher safe,
Yeah.
oven safe. It's just harder than soft glass. They add boron into the mixture, and that's what makes it borosilicate.
Okay.
But anyway, for the pattern, it's 2 layers of lines that I twist in opposite directions.
Right.
And then you put one tube inside of the other, and then you melt those 2 together, and you get that crosslink pattern.
Wild. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Elijah, thanks for being here.
Hi, Ryan. Thank you.
I'm really bad at doing like official introductions.
That's all right.
This is my friend Elijah, who has a small business in town.
What's up?
What's the name of that business, Elijah?
My business is called WeredGlass, but it's spelled weird. It's WERED glass.
It is weird indeed. That's cool.
Oh my God!
You got some fun stuff to look at, my friend. These are neat.
I did, yeah. I just grabbed a couple of things off the shelf that I had sitting around. I do make a lot of pipes, because that's what sells.
Typical.
It's hard to get away from it.
it's kind of it's funny. It's like when everybody thinks of a glass blower, like, oh, I know what you make.
They're like, can you smoke out of it? That's the one question I always get asked. Can you smoke out of it? Which one do you want?
I'll take this guy. Cheers,
Right.
Elijah. Thanks
Cheers,
for being
Ryan.
here.
Thank you.
Nice little Monday afternoon.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Woodford. Tasty beverage.
Whew. Mm-hmm.
So it's, okay, what was it called? Reticello?
Reticello.
Reticello.
Yeah. And if you look up reticello on the internet, you'll see most of the patterns will have bubbles, like air trapped, in between every single one of the cross links.
Okay.
And that's because when they do it in the hot shop, which is where you make soft glass, is in the hot shop, they start out with rods of glass that have color on the inside. And then if you imagine all the rods lined up next to each other, there's like a little dip in between each rod.
Right.
And then they roll that up into a tube. And then the same process, they'll twist one tube one way, the other one the other way. And then when they put the tubes together, one inside of the other, where that negative space is, creates an air bubble. So it looks a little bit different when you're talking about the traditional technique. But yeah.
So you're saying you're a non-traditionalist?
Yeah, I guess so.
No, it's not
You
bad
could say
thing.
that, yeah.
It's really cool, though. How did you get started making glass stuff?
Oh, man. So I actually saw my teachers today in Super One.
Oh, really?
Bill and Ray, yeah, from Aspen Hot Glass. Shout out. They are super nice people. They got me started way back in 2012, I think. But so I had an internship opportunity in high school. I had all my credits done for college, and they were like, well, you can't really just go home. Like, you still have to...
You just have to show up.
Yeah, you got to do something.
Right.
And so they suggested working at a bank or a restaurant. And I was like, no, that doesn't sound fun. And then I remembered Bill and Ray. I saw them at the fair one year and was just super interested in what they were doing and what they were making. And so I drove down to Corvallis and was like, hey, can I, intern for you guys? And they were like, yeah, sure. Do you have insurance? And I was like, yeah, I think so. And yeah, it just kind of blossomed from there, I guess.
It's a funny juxtaposition. Do you want to go intern at a bank or?
Well, I can't remember exactly what.
No,
they
I know, but
suggested,
yeah.
I was like, nah, I want to do something.
I want to do something cool,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Who wants to sit around? Oh, I'm gonna go file paperwork.
No, No,
I
not
kinda,
this guy.
I kind of do that for a living now too. Not entire. It's not entirely that, but there's a portion of it. But it's interesting stuff. I get to write fun things,
Yeah, for sure.
I guess. All right, and then, well, you obviously graduated high school.
I did graduate with high honors.
Oh, excellent. Good job.
Thank you. I don't know how I did that, but I did. I have the tassel to prove it.
Ooh, fancy.
Um,
I'm so mesmerized by this thing.
so that's dichroic glass. It reflects one wavelength of light.
See if you can. I don't know if you can see that in here.
What did I say? Reflect? It reflects one light and it transmits another light. I don't exactly know the science of how it's made.
Would that be refraction?
I don't know.
No.
Not refraction.
What is refraction?
I think that's light going
Through
something.
like a prism.
Right.
We are everything you've come to expect from the years of public schooling. I passed science class. It's probably like some 7th grade.
You know, those were
Science.
my best subjects in school was science and math.
Mine too.
History, forget it. English?
Well, not math. Sorry,
Forget
not
it.
math. I excuse myself. Science and history were mine.
Oh, okay.
I liked those ones. Western
Nice.
Civ with Mr. Turner.
I also
Oh.
had Mr. Turner,
I was
but
on-
I didn't take Western Civ.
Awesome class.
Okay. I took German, and he taught me how to drive.
Oh yeah, he taught me how to drive too.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
In the winter?
It was. I don't. It was definitely in either the fall. I think it was the fall. I think it was before.
Okay.
Before it had snowed really, but it was still cold. I remember getting up, it being dark at 6 o'clock in the morning when I had to be there.
Oh, yeah, it was pitch black when we would go.
Yeah,
Super happy I learned how to drive in the snow, though.
it makes a difference, right?
It's really important if you live in Montana or
Oh,
anywhere
Yeah, right.
that snows a lot.
I know. I've been having a lot of fun though driving in this weather.
Me too.
I like it.
I found the traction control button in my car, and I turn it off.
Oh yeah.
Skirt.
What do you drive?
It's a Hyundai Tucson.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
It's not bad. I did get stuck on Friday.
Uh-oh.
Fun fact. And my bandmates had to come and pull me out of the snow.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Yeah.
Good guys. I got stuck for the first time in my truck on Saturday.
What kind of truck do you have?
It's a Dodge Ram, 1500.
Oh, okay.
I got a little.
Solid.
Trucks don't always do the best in snow or ice and that kind of stuff. I got 4-wheel drive, which is good, and then I helped my granddad rip a sink out of his house. It's one of those big old cast iron ones.
Mm.
So I just threw it in the back of the truck and strapped it down at the very end. So it helps a little bit. It's an extra 100
Yeah.
pounds or so.
Okay.
Maybe not that much. But even so, I was rolling into work at higher ground.
Mm.
And
Yep.
I usually park on the east side of the tracks there, and I haven't had any trouble getting out of that, even though with all that snow the last couple of days. And I'm backing in. I'm like, all right, I think I'm about there, and I don't stop yet, and I go whoop bump right over the track,
Oh, no.
so it just locks me in. It was a good time. We got out.
Damn,
Got
dude.
another truck stuck trying to pull me out. Then we found some dude who had a gigantic Jeep Gladiator in the parking lot with huge 40-inch tires. I'm like, can you help
There you
us?
go. Yeah.
And he got a couple free beers. So good on him. Good
Oh,
job.
Yeah, that's great.
Good citizen.
I gave my bandmates a beer.
See?
I was like, hey,
That should
You
be our new
deserve it.
currency.
beer.
It kind of is, honestly.
It is a little bit, yeah.
Now that I think about it. All right, back to glass stuff. I mean, this
Yeah.
this stuff is just so cool. It's so. I mean, how do you do that? It just is mind-boggling. The color, the swirls.
Yeah, man, there's so many different techniques. And also within that, you can do the same technique in a different way and get different results.
Okay.
But, for that one, it's just a lot of different sections that you kind of manipulate. So when that starts out, all the lines are straight.
Okay.
So I draw the lines on a tube, right? And then you can twist part of the tube one way, twist another part of the tube a different way. And then the way that you stack those sections and the way you orient them is what builds the pattern. And something like that piece you're holding is really tricky to get the size right, because each section is really small. You know, if you go too big, I mean, the piece is going to end up being, 2 feet.
Right,
2
to
feet
have the
long.
same like level of detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So you have to, think ahead, really work backwards, let's say, and I'm like, oh, I want to have like 7 sections for the bowl,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want it to be bigger than 4 inches or 3 inches. So you just got to think ahead, plan out what pieces are going to be what size and what you're going to do with them. It's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of just doing it, a lot of just going for it.
Yeah, just learning the technique of what does what. See if I'm paying attention here. Is this reticello?
Yes, it is, technically. Same pattern, different technique. So that's actually 1 tube. It's not 2. And I guess what they're calling it in the glass world is a fumicello.
A fumicello.
Yes.
Ooh.
So the color that's inside of that comes from pure gold and pure silver.
Really?
It's a process called fuming, hence why it's called fumicello. And so I did not make that marble. That is actually from WeredGlass, and he's out of Denver. I was in Denver. When was that?
Oh, that's okay. So
It was a couple months ago. Right. But so he made that marble, and I was at the studio that he works at. And I was like, hey, man, do you have anything that I could use? And he was like, oh, yeah, I think so. And he gave me that marble.
Neat.
And so I made the pipe, and I thought, oh, this would be a nice addition to this one if I put Dave's marble on there. But kind of the same deal to get that pattern. You twist the tube into a spiral, and then you push the spiral together.
Okay.
It's so hard to visualize. Please, if you're watching this and you're like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, go to my YouTube channel.
You have a YouTube channel?
I do have a YouTube channel, and don't pay attention to what I say at the end of the last video, because that was months ago. That was almost a year ago.
Would you make some bold predictions that didn't come true?
No, I just said, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for glass content every Friday. And it doesn't happen every Friday, unfortunately. But I do have some videos that do explain some things.
You'll just have to re-upload it with a little asterisk on there saying, every Friday that I do it.
There you go.
Yeah, see? Then you cover your bases.
I should do that. I'm so bad at YouTube. I'm bad at social media.
I know, me too. I mean, I do this whole thing, and it's still like, I don't... just put it out there and see what happens.
Yeah. It's difficult.
It's fun.
It is super fun, but yeah, you gotta... If you want anything to come of it, you gotta stay on it.
I'm at least somewhat consistent with this thing. I've averaged about 1 per month for the last 2 years, so...
That's pretty good.
We're doing all right in that case. Sometimes it'll be like a couple weeks in a row and then a little hiatus. That's probably not the best thing for the algorithm, but...
whatever.
Yeah.
I think you're doing great.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. We're trying.
Well, I'm just trying stuff, man. It's the Bitterroot Valley. What do you want?
Yeah, that's right. That's the whole point of this place, I think.
Exactly.
Just gonna try it out.
Just try it out.
Try it out. What's your favorite thing to make?
Sherlock's.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Sherlock's for sure.
Glass Sherlock's.
I don't know why.
I like the nod to my last name, by the way. Appreciate it.
I think it's because I enjoy using Sherlock's the most. Like if I'm going to smoke, it's probably going to be out of a Sherlock.
It just looks cool.
It looks cool. Or a hammer. Classic
Is that what that's
hammer
called?
shape. Yeah.
A hammer.
Yep, because it's straight here and you got the head.
That makes sense. I can see it now.
You'd, build a house with this guy. Yeah, Sherlock's I think are my favorite thing to make. It just has a lot of elements of what I like to do. And I really enjoy making these, which are rigs for cannabis oil, dabs,
right,
hash, whatever you want to call it.
It looks like a lamp you would keep a genie in.
Yep, a little bit. And those are really fun to make.
That one on camera too.
But they're so difficult.
It's massive.
That one's pretty large, actually. That was one of those things where I just kept adding the pieces together, and I was like, this is actually getting really big.
Yeah, getting that down tube in there and everything.
Yep. So that caused a lot of issues.
Okay.
I tried to seal the down stem right at the joint, and it didn't connect fully, but I didn't realize that at the time. And so I was really excited. I put it through a kiln cycle. It lets it cool down slowly so it doesn't crack.
Okay, gotcha.
And I pulled it out. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I put water in it, and I went to draw from the mouthpiece, and it wasn't bubbling. It's supposed to bubble. The air is supposed to come down through the joint, down the down stem, and then out the holes at the bottom.
Right.
But it was just coming down straight through there.
Oh, huge disappointment.
Well, I'm like, what do I do? And then I was really upset, but I had to calm down because I spent, I don't know, that's probably a week's worth of prep and planning and making the different pieces. This color it's sleeved like 5 times in clear glass. It's
right.
a really dense color. And so if you layer it a lot, you can thin it out to make it translucent. And that took a long time, but I had to rehandle to it, tear off a whole bunch that I had put on there, and then try and fix it. But it's good. It's good now.
It's like I
was able to save it.
When you're working on your vehicle and then you end up with one extra screw or something, you're like, oh, crap. You take the whole thing back apart.
Yep.
Well, at least you resolved the issue, see?
It doesn't always happen like
that.
Not
that simple.
I have thrown a lot of stuff at the wall.
Fair enough. I'm sure that can be pretty frustrating if you spend a week working on something. You're like, it might as well just be trash.
Right. You always have to save the project, though, I think. I mean, if you can save it, you should try.
Right.
And I don't know. I love glass for that. It teaches you a lot about yourself and what kind of person you are. Are you going to throw that thing that you spent a week working on at the wall, or are you going to go in and just do a fix that might take a day or two? So I decided to save that one, and I'm glad I did. I get a lot of compliments on that from the pipe community.
Yeah, that one's cool.
And
are those the? Yeah, open it up. I think I know what it is. Oh, whoa!
No, this one's
I don't
different.
know what that is.
But I do have one of those as well.
That's neat.
That piece actually has a Montana sapphire.
Yes, it does.
Encased inside.
Oh, that's pretty. I'll get this one close up too. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it. Little bitty sapphire in there.
You have good lights in here. I think it'll capture the glass pretty well.
Sparkly.
And all the pink there is 24 karat gold fume.
Okay, explain that process.
Fuming?
Yeah.
So basically you have to vaporize the metal. You have to get hot enough to vaporize.
Whoa.
And so when that happens, by the way, when you are blowing glass using a torch, the flame is, 3,500 degrees. It's very, very hot. So gold and silver will vaporize,
right?
Well below that temperature. So you get the metal hot enough to vaporize. And once it does that, it's going to travel along the length of the flame. And so you can hold, your piece of glass out here as you're melting it with this, this hand, and then hold it out here. And the metal vapor travels along the flame and it coats the glass.
Oh, okay.
It's a very thin layer, and then you can manipulate it from there. That's just clear dots over top of the fume layer.
And then
you melt it down, fold it inside out, twist it, add your backing color.
It's a lot more simple than I thought it was going to be, but I'm sure it's also very complicated in practice.
It's technically difficult, yeah, but once you understand it, you kind of go, oh, okay.
Right.
Like, I get it. There's some things that are really, really difficult, but it's all fairly simple. I remember when I first was learning how to blow glass at Aspen Hot Glass, I was sitting there and Bill was like, we're going to do a mushroom pendant where it looks like a mushroom is on the inside of the glass, but it's just glass. It's not an actual mushroom. And my idea of how it worked was, he's going to sculpt a mushroom and somehow delicately place the clear glass over it and encapsulate it. I was totally wrong. And he just was like, nope, you just get a glass rod of color and a clear glass rod, and you heat up the clear glass, and then you push in the colored rod, and you just keep pushing and pushing, and then when the colored rod hits the cold spot of the clear, the cap actually folds over because it doesn't have anywhere to go. It can only move in the hot glass. So simple.
Okay.
It's a one-move operation. You go boink, you just stick the colored rod in the clear, and there's a mushroom inside.
Mind blown.
No, really.
Yeah, that's incredible.
In that moment, I was like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
That's neat.
So cool. I will never forget that moment. It was because I used to do magic when I was a kid.
Okay.
I was really into sleight of hand and mentalism and all that stuff. But watching the mushroom bead get made, I was like, holy shit.
Mind explosion.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And is this what I think it is?
Yes. Yes, that is.
These things are really neat, folks. You should definitely get one of these. This is very Montana.
Yes.
I love it. We got a shell casing with a little glass bullet in it. That's cool. These things are just so cool. And you put a little...
Has an opal for the primer.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Those have been a passion project for, I don't know, like 5 years now.
Focus. No? Not going to focus. All right. Anyway, these things are neat.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I've just been kind of adding details to those for the last couple of years. That's an older model, so the resin on the primer doesn't quite go all the way over the back of it like that. They're more streamlined.
Okay.
And I do fill them with sand now, so it adds a little bit of weight.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And if you shake it, it sounds like it's loaded. It adds a little bit more of the wonderment, if you want to call it that. Like, how, I don't understand how this works. So
That's neat.
I love when people say that, and I go, I know you don't. It's okay.
That's what you're here for.
Yeah.
That's why you do the things.
Yeah. Well, and it makes me feel good, because I always love going to magic shows and just being like, what? How did the sword go all the way through his body like that?
Magic.
Exactly. Did you ever go to the J. Owen House shows when they were here?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that
At
guy.
the middle school.
Yes. Did he bring a tiger?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did. He was so legit.
I remember those. Yeah, he was pretty good.
I remember selling chocolates for elementary school to get the tickets.
Oh, yeah.
And if you sold enough chocolate, you could go to the show. And me and my buddy Charlie, we'd be like, man, we got to go get those tickets. We need to go sell as much chocolate as we can. We ended up eating half of it.
Always.
Like a lot of times, but
I'm pretty sure I did too. It's pretty decent chocolate.
we got the tickets.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I love going to that.
Yeah, I forgot about those. Those were fun.
I wish he would come back. I don't know if he's still doing magic, though.
I don't know. Jay Owen House, are you out there anywhere?
Hey, Jay.
Are you in?
I miss you.
Are you out there in YouTube land? Drop us a line. Come back to Hamilton.
That would be great.
I'd go to it.
Yeah. I would
He
definitely
can perform
go
at
to
the Pack now.
it. Ooh.
I think this was before. This was definitely before. Or at least when I saw him, it was before the high school was built.
Yeah. Yep.
So we didn't have the fancy new theater.
It's a nice theater.
It is.
I've played a lot of concerts on that stage.
Yeah, that stage kept me in high school. I'll have to say.
Did you do theater?
I did, yeah.
Awesome.
So I spent a lot of time in that.
Choir?
I was in band. I didn't do choir.
Oh, interesting.
But I did, so I performed on that stage in band and then also in various different theatrical productions.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Do you ever do Les Mis? Les Miserables?
No, not that one.
Oh, okay.
I was in Chicago, though. I played the guy that got shot,
Oh,
her boyfriend.
damn.
Who was it? John C. Reilly's character
Okay.
in the movie.
I don't know if I saw that.
It's a pretty good movie. It's all right.
Nice. I only brought up Les Mis because I was in the pit orchestra for that show.
Oh, were you? Cool. What'd you play in orchestra?
What did I play? I think I was just playing auxiliary percussion. I think Alex P was on the drum set.
All right.
Yeah, I never actually saw the show.
You just heard it from a distance.
I could hear it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope it's good.
I know, right? They did some amazing work on that place.
Mm-hmm.
They have an orchestra pit. They've got amazing sound and light.
Yeah, it's a really good space.
Set up there.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw
Wait, what instrument did you play in band?
saxophone.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Do you still play?
No,
Oh,
I gave it up a long time ago.
okay.
I was in regular band and jazz band.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. And then, just life happens and I got pulled in other directions.
Yep.
I like music. I enjoy playing music if I can. I'm not very good at playing anything in particular. I mean, if I were to sit down and practice a lot, I could probably get it back. I've been messing around with the oud lately.
What?
It's like the original guitar from the Middle East.
Oh.
So it's like there's the oud and then the lute and then the guitar, right? So it's that kind of
Okay.
Pokemon upgrading system. And
My
lute-
knowledge only goes back to the lute. I never heard of the oud.
The oud is the first form,
Okay.
and it's played mostly in like Arabic and Turkish and like even Greek music now, and that's about it.
Okay.
But it's primarily a Middle Eastern instrument. It's fretless, so you
Can you plug
lots
it
of
in?
microtones and this kind of stuff going on.
Can you plug it in?
You can get electric ones.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah,
Really?
They make electric ones.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I thought you were just going to be like, no, it's a stupid question, but
that is a travesty to music that you would even ask that. No, they make electric ones, but primarily, yeah, it's an acoustic
yeah.
instrument that they'd mic up or something like that. It's got a nice sound and
How many
interesting.
strings?
It has the big ones have 6 sets of 2 strings. So they're all double strings.
Oh, it's like a mando.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
And yeah, a bunch of different different scales and no frets, so you can do lots of different like half flats and that kind of stuff on it.
That makes it more difficult to play, doesn't it, without frets?
It can be, yeah, because you have to really like pay attention to what you have to know.
Yeah, like where the note is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can be just a millimeter off and have it not be
That is a different scale.
different note. Yeah.
Yeah.
You start going into the Mixolydian and the Dorian scales. And
Oh yes, all sorts of different things. And it's I'm a big fan of like Middle Eastern and traditional Greek music
okay.
as well.
Cool.
And so it's kind of fun to mess around on it and try to mimic some of that stuff. I'm definitely not very good at it. I can't like play a full-on song, but it's once you learn kind of the basics of how to riff around on it.
You can noodle.
Yeah.
Noodle around on
That's
it.
right, yeah.
We should jam sometime.
See what I'll have to practice a little more first.
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
play like 2 scales on it, but
That's way more than enough. I mean, the White Stripes only ever played like 3 notes.
that's fair.
I'm kidding, Jack and
Don't come after us.
company.
No, he's.
They
Yeah.
are really great musicians.
It's true.
I should have said Blink-182. That would have probably been more appropriate.
Yeah, anything poppy is like the same 3 chords
Yeah, totally.
on repeat.
Although Travis Barker's a beast on the drums.
It's true. He's a good drummer.
I used to play a lot of punk music coming
Yeah?
up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was in a band with my friends. I think we started in like 6th grade. It was horrible. It was
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how my parents were like, yeah, this is good.
But
Keep-
it's
keep doing
punk
it.
though, right? So it can be horrible.
I guess so.
That's kind of fun thing about punk.
But there is good and bad punk.
This
and
is true.
We were in the bad category. It was fun, though. And I'm really thankful that my parents did not tell me to stop or shut up. We did get a letter, though. I will never forget this. So at first, the drum set was in like this back room in the main house.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually my brother was living in like a detached garage that was converted into like his room. And so he went off to college, and I was like, sweet, now that's going to be my jam room. And so we brought the drum set in there. It's like, I don't know, maybe a foot. The wall of the garage is like a foot away from the wall of the next door neighbor's house.
Oh yeah.
And I would go bananas on that drum.
Doing your best
So
Neil Peart
loud.
impression.
I cracked like 4 cymbals. I was hitting hard.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah. And it was
Alright.
super fun. But one day, my dad comes into the garage and he's got a letter that's like typed out. It's official. And he's like, "Hey, this came in the mail today." And he like handed it to me, and it was our next door neighbors. And they had said like, it's great that your son is so passionate about drums, and we're not trying to tell him to stop, but, and then it just kept going on. He's like, maybe he should stop like sometimes. And I would never play that late. It wasn't like 10 at night, just cracking cymbals.
Can he just chill out a little bit?
Well, they were like, it would be great if you could soundproof the garage. And my dad was kind of like, well, are you going to pay for the soundproofing? And they were like, no. And he was like, all right, well, I don't know what you want me to do about it. They moved. Sorry to you guys.
They left the state entirely.
Yeah, I mean, looking back on it, I was loud. I was super loud. And then when Charlie would come over with his Marshall half stack and just crank that thing, oh, man. I'm surprised I can hear still.
I feel that. Yeah. There's definitely some times in my life where I was like, I probably should have been wearing earplugs.
Oh, yeah.
Might have been a good choice. But here we are. Here we are.
Learn.
And yeah, you still play drums to this day.
I do.
You still playing with now the name of the band slips my mind.
Oh, no. Now I forgot. Poor Henry.
Poor Henry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's not quite Poor Henry anymore.
Oh, poor Henry. What happened to him?
They just kind of, I don't know.
Floated away.
They did kind of float away a little
Oh
bit.
no! I hope they come
I
back
don't know.
together. That band is bumping, man.
They should come back together.
You guys rock.
And Jim should come back.
Who's Jim? Where did Jim go?
Jim,
Jim, where are you?
Jim, come on, man.
Jim, come back. Come back to us, Jim.
Mike and Brevy, they're always like, man, I wish Jim would come back and play. I never played with Jim, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Jim's just been gone.
He's here, I think.
Is he?
In the valley, maybe. I think he just wanted to do the bluegrass in the country.
Right.
Because
you guys kind of branched out a little more.
Well, yeah, it's a totally different band.
Fair enough.
We are not Poor Henry anymore. We don't even have a name.
Could be Rich Henry.
Rich Henry. Oh, that's a good.
Middle class Henry.
Yeah.
You moved up one.
I love that.
You moved up one socioeconomic scale, so you're middle class Henry now.
I'll bring that up.
Yeah.
On Thursday, we're jamming. I'll be like,
Yes.
hey guys, there's a new name for the band.
And then when you get signed, you can change it to Rich Henry.
There you go. I like that. Yeah.
Sweet.
So I do that. We have a show, actually. I don't know when this podcast comes out, but if you're around, March 16th at the Grange.
Well, I'll do my best to get it out. Oh yeah, that's the is it gonna be the Grange membership party?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's
So
the St. Patty's Day
yeah, I think
bonanza. I don't know.
I might be spilling beans here. I don't know. Okay, St. Patrick's Day bonanza, yes, and I think that's the same time where we do the whole new membership renewal and try to recruit new people. By the way, the Grange, the Rocky Mountain Grange, is an awesome organization. If you're here in the Bitterroot Valley, I highly recommend joining it. The farmers of the world must unite, and the Grange is also just a good time. Lots of good people. You get to meet a multitude of different generations and backgrounds throughout the Bitterroot Valley. And some of my favorite people in this area are members and regular attenders.
I love the Grange.
It's a good time.
It's a great spot. It's totally like just a bunch of buddies getting together, like a big family.
Yeah.
Hanging out, playing music, trying to do good for the community too.
Indeed.
I mean,
And we're trying to raise money for the accessibility project there as well. So we can offer it to even more people. Because it's an old building that was constructed before much thought was given to individuals with physical disability.
Yep.
So it's not quite conducive to hosting events for those people, but it's in the works. We're trying to raise money for it so we can put a ramp and a bathroom upstairs and, just make it an even better place for everybody.
Yeah, that's great.
And then Poor Henry's also going to be playing there. So, swing by.
Side note, not to take away from that, but I think I played my first show at the Grange.
Your
When
first show ever?
Yeah.
Really?
When I was like, I don't know, 13,
Okay.
12 or 13.
With what band?
Punk Rising.
Was this that night they had all those like hard rock bands there?
I think so.
I
It was
remember-
like Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
And it was me and Charlie and Tanner.
I kind of remember this.
I wish I remembered his last name.
I'm pretty sure I was there.
It was epic, and I think we won.
Heck yeah.
I think we won.
Nice.
And Charlie signed a boob for the first time.
Good job, Charlie.
Proud of you, dude.
I hope she got it tattooed so it stays there forever.
No, I don't think she did.
No, all right. Well,
She missed out though.
yeah,
Could have had a Charlie tattoo.
forever. Yeah, permanent markers are not so permanent. I don't know if you know
No.
that.
It's false advertising.
Yeah, I know, right? Come on, Sharpie. What are you doing?
Come on, Sharpie.
You're better than that.
Oh man.
All right. So are you upgrading your glass? I heard you got some new equipment a while back.
Oh.
Have you been playing with that? You got some sort of. I ran into you at what was that? The Celtic Festival. Or somewhere.
Oh.
I ran into you somewhere, and you're like, I just got a bunch of new stuff, and I'm excited to play with it.
Okay. Yeah. So I did recently upgrade my torch.
Ooh.
That was huge.
Okay.
So big. That's like, I was trying to tell people the torch that I had before is like a go-kart, and the torch that I have now is like a Formula One car.
Ooh.
I mean, it's that big of a upgrade.
Right on.
It's insane. I went from a Nortel major minor to a GTT Mirage.
I have no idea what any of that
variable
means.
switch.
Okay.
You can put up graphics on the screen. Can you do that? Are you going to do that?
Use your imagination, folks.
Yeah.
Google is a thing.
Or Google it, yeah.
I don't have a Jamie, so I can't be pulled up.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, I should get a green screen here.
That'd be great. It's a lot of work, though. Yeah, Nortel. I mean, Nortel makes fine torches. They're great. But mine was a student model from Pilchuck, which is a glass art school that I attended.
Okay.
We can talk about that if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was used and abused before I got it. You know, it was up in an attic. It was a retired student torch, but it was $200, and I was like, all right.
It's got a limp and
Getting
a
that
bad
one.
eye, and
Yeah.
yeah.
The face of the torch was just like corroded and melted. But that thing is it has a special place in my heart. It lasted 10 years
Nice.
after I got it.
Oh yeah.
And it was time for me to upgrade. So I went with the GTT Mirage. GTT stands for Glass Torch Technologies.
Oh.
It's a company. I don't know where they're based out of. It's a U.S. company. And they build amazing pieces of equipment. They have a special, it's called a triple mix technology. And it injects oxygen in a different way. So the two gases I use are propane and oxygen. I don't use acetylene for the fuel. But anyway, it's got 3 knobs that you can adjust, and you can make the flame wider or more sharp. And it just has so much firepower. There's the amount of heat that it makes is just, it's unreasonable. I saw a YouTube video, and this guy was like, we made the first ever lightsaber handheld. They made like a real lightsaber, and they were showing how they made it. And I was like, I know what he's using. It was a GTT Phantom, which is another.
So they use that torch
torch
to make the lightsaber. Like that's the lightsaber.
That is
The
all they
functioning.
used. And I was a little upset. I was like, really? But they are lightsabers. They literally, I mean, yeah.
Nice. All
Hot.
right.
Very, very, very hot.
So what is you can adjust the width of the flame? I would assume that's for just like.
Yeah, you can adjust the width. You know,
What would be the purpose of needing to do that?
more detailed work.
Okay.
You know, something like the bullet tips. You need a small flame.
Right. Okay.
Something,
I mean, obvious question, I guess, but if you really think about it,
Well,
maybe. I don't
Maybe.
know. I feel self-conscious now for asking a question like that.
it's okay. You should ask all the questions.
Okay.
Because I realize, you know, it's like when I make my YouTube videos, I leave a lot of stuff out, but then I realize I'm like, well, but nobody knows what a wigwag is. So maybe I should put that in there.
All right, I'm going to
Yeah.
ask now. What is a wigwag?
A wigwag is that pattern on the bottom of the pipe.
That's called a wigwag.
Yes.
All right.
Or a switchback, or
For everybody out there, this is a wigwag.
yep.
All right. I can see it. It's wiggy and waggy
Mm-hmm.
and ziggy and zaggy.
And that's just from twisting. Oh, that's another use actually for a thin flame, is you get a super thin flame, and so you have that length of tubing with the lines running down the length, and so you're going to get a sharp flame in one spot of the tube and twist it one way, and then you move down, twist it back, move down, twist it the other way,
Ah, okay.
all the way down the tube, and then you condense all that glass back up into a ball, and then that's where that comes from.
Neat.
And then you can rotate the axis 90 degrees, and then you get a reversal. That's inside the bowl there.
Okay. All right.
And then you can build on it from there. There's bow ties, wigwags, rewigs.
So is that all one piece except for the
No.
marble on there?
No. I mean, like, this mouthpiece was one piece that
Okay.
I attached to this piece. This piece is two pieces. The bowl is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections.
Wow.
This has 13 sections altogether that I assembled into one piece.
That is nuts.
It's kind of like Legos.
Okay.
You just start adding things together, and it eventually becomes one thing.
Just really hot Legos.
Yes. Lava Legos.
Legos that would hurt even worse than other Legos if you
Yeah.
step on them. And where do you do all this work?
In my mom's garage.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, because she's awesome. And she was like, you can set up a studio in my garage.
Right on.
And I was like, all right, fuck yeah.
Yeah, your mom is pretty awesome. By the way, if you need real estate photos, Flora Engbrecht.
Flory Engbrecht Photography.
That's right.
Yeah, she does good work.
Shout out to Flora.
You know what? She does the best photography for houses, real estate, bar none.
Boom.
You
Done.
heard it here.
Said. It's official.
Because I've seen other people's photography, and I'm like, ugh. I'm not calling anyone out.
Well,
I'm
there's a
just
lot of
saying
there are a lot of people that
DIY.
yeah, I mean, we're real estate agents, not photographers, so we should let photographers
I'm not calling anyone out. I
do
was just
their
saying.
thing. But yes, I do see it quite often when I'm
And,
looking at
and I
stuff.
also, I'm not talking about the real estate agents themselves. Like, sure, whatever, they're pictures. But I mean,
off center
if you're hiring someone to do professional photographs,
also.
and you get them back, it's kind of like, yikes.
Yeah, there's been a couple times where I've been like, I feel like I could have done this myself
Yeah.
better.
I mean, iPhones are pretty good now,
They are.
and if you know how to use it, you can take a damn good photo on an
Truth.
iPhone.
Yeah, I mean, you're being recorded on an iPhone right now.
Hey,
And in my opinion, I think, well, it's probably because that lens on there isn't the greatest. But when I'm editing these things, I always notice that that camera has a better consistent look than this one over here.
interesting. I wonder if it's like the processing.
Maybe,
going on,
yeah.
like
I don't know.
HDR something.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about it.
I don't know.
I was going to talk about Pilchuck.
Oh, yes, please do.
Pilchuck is a school that was set up by Dale Chihuly.
Oh, of
Do you-
Chihuly Glass.
Yes.
Out of Las Vegas, right?
No.
Oh, no, where is he?
I mean, he's out of Washington.
Oh, I think he's a bunch of stuff in. Oh, no, I saw
Yeah.
his stuff in
Oh,
Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Is where I saw it.
His glass is all over the world. He is, I think, probably the most recognized glass artist
Mm-hmm.
by name. If you said Chihuly, people would go, oh, yeah, I know that guy.
That guy.
That's the guy, the crazy guy with the curly hair and the eye patch.
He has an eye patch? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I think it was a glass accident. And he, like, can't see. I don't know the story. I've heard a lot of stuff. But so he and his friends actually, like back in the 70s or late 60s, they would go out into the woods and set up a glass shop every summer. They would go out, set it up, tear it down.
Sounds like a bad place to have a glass shop.
Not in Washington. It's very wet.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of here.
And it's like right next to the Puget Sound.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
not here. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You know, the Forest Service kicking down your door. So anyway, eventually they were just like, why don't we make a permanent structure here? And so they started making structures out in the woods in Washington, in Stanwood, Washington. And it just kind of grew from there. Now it's like this enormous international school. It's like the most well-known glass school, I think. There's a couple glass schools around the country, but Pilchuck is like really
Renowned?
it's polished. I don't know.
Right,
It's like
okay.
it's like a thing. It's its own entity now.
Nice.
It's not just, a bunch of hippies going out in the woods making glass. And it's amazing. It is magic.
How long were you there?
I went there the first time for 3 months.
Nice. Okay.
And it's not like an accredited school. I think you can get credits there, but you don't go there for years at a time and come out with a degree. You go there for 1 to 3 weeks, and you take one class,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. You can stay there longer.
Right.
Like I took three classes the first time I went, and you just get really good skills and information, and it's a lot of networking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they have everything. I mean, name anything that you can do with glass, you can do it at Pilchuck. They have cold working shops. They have a hot shop. They have a flat shop. They have kiln casting. They have a print making shop. I mean,
Okay, explain all of that. What's the difference between a hot and cold shop? Obvious. Other than the obvious. Y'all are going to make fun of me now after this one.
no. It's again, ask all the questions.
All right.
There
So
are
what,
no,
like what's the difference in the work between what kind of work do you do in a hot shop? What do you do in a cold shop?
I should have brought a faceted piece of glass to show you. But a hot shop is where now a hot shop is different from a flat shop. And I don't know if flat shop is the correct term. That's where the torches are.
Okay.
Is a flat shop. I think that's just what they called it at Pilchuck. But hot shop is where you do soft glass work. There's a lot of adjectives in there.
There's a lot going on.
So soft glass is when you have, it's like the Netflix show Blown Away, where they have the big furnace and you have the big long metal blowpipe and you dip into the
Oh, okay. So like the
pot
classic,
of
probably the
glass.
classic thing that everybody thinks of about
Yes.
blowing glass.
And you sit on a bench and you roll it with the
Yeah.
the wet newspaper.
Yep.
That's soft glass.
Okay.
And then you do that work in a hot shop. That's just what they call it. And a cold shop or a cold working shop is where they have the belt grinders, they have the disc sanders, they have lapidary wheels, they have wet saws, they have Dremels, and
Oh, okay. So this is where the hot shop is where you work at the hot glass when it's hot.
Yep.
And cold shop is where you work on the glass when it's cold.
Yes.
It's so simple.
I mean, that part of it is very simple. But yeah, I think wood shop a little bit. Like same way that you would work with wood in a wood shop. It's kind of like glass in a cold working shop.
Right.
You can cut it, you can glue it, you can sand it, shape it while it's cold.
Okay.
And you can do those things when it's hot, but there's certain things that you can only do in a cold shop. Faceting, for example, like a diamond on a ring,
Mm-hmm.
that's a faceted stone with the cuts.
Right.
So you can do that with glass and turn glass into a gem. And I love faceting. I just got some faceting equipment. My whole family came together and bought me a flat lap wheel and a faceting arm.
Nice.
It's so cool. I'm very excited to just delve into that world. It's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down.
More shapes, more potential.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay. What was the other? Then you have the flat shop.
Flat shop, that's where all the torches are. That's
Okay.
where I took my classes. I did go into the hot shop a little bit, and I did a little bit of work there, but I'm not very good at soft glass. That's more like syrup, like maple syrup when it's hot, super liquidy and fluid. It takes forever to cool down. And borosilicate glass is like, it's really hot, and then in 3 seconds, it's stiff. Like it just, not quite.
Well, sure.
That
But
extreme,
yeah,
but-
you've got a much lower amount of time to work with it.
Yeah, a lot shorter working time while it's hot. I don't know. Soft glass is cool.
Okay.
You can do soft glass on a torch as well. That's actually the first thing that I made with Bill and Ray were soft glass beads on a mandrel.
Okay.
Soft glass is hard, though. It's way more temperamental. I mean, if you don't do it exactly right, it's going to explode.
Really?
Yeah. Boro is a lot more forgiving. Borosilicate glass is, you know, you can heat something up and put it on the bench to cool.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to put it in a kiln for the most part.
Okay.
Soft glass, though, if you heat it up and put it on the bench, it will explode every time. So, like, once you're done working on it, it has to go in the kiln.
Oh, yeah, to slow that process down. Right.
Mm-hmm. And that has a lot to do with the coefficient of expansion, the COE of the glass.
The COE.
Yeah.
Are
Boro.
you guys taking notes? I'm not taking notes. I'm going to copy for somebody later.
I don't know. If you need this knowledge later.
It'll probably stick with me because it's unneeded. It's usually how
Yeah.
it works. Is like I'll keep things in my brain that be like, oh yeah, so and so was the star of that movie back in like 1982.
Right.
Like, why do you know that?
And then you'll go, did you know that borosilicate glass is 33 COE? And they'll
Yes,
go,
I did.
What?
It'll be on my next trivia. Next time I'm at trivia, it's going to be that question.
That should be. Let me know so I can come and get a free point.
Just you pop
I
in
know
real
it.
quick. Let me call my glass guy.
Yeah. This whiskey's really good. I forgot what we were talking about.
We're talking about just all the wonderful things related to glass.
Yeah, print.
Oh yeah,
Flat
other shops.
Flat shop, hot shop, cold shop.
'Kay.
There's a kiln casting shop. So kiln casting is casting glass using a kiln.
So like putting it into a mold sort of deal, and
Right. Yeah, so there's a lot of different ways to make a mold, but they use clay and kind of cover over something or hand shape something. It's a negative mold, and then you fill it with bits of glass, and then you just put it in a kiln, heat it up, all the glass melts.
Okay.
Like an ice cube tray a little bit, but not cold, hot. Print making, they have a really cool print shop.
You can print on glass?
Yes, you can. And people do really cool stuff. They'll take panes of glass and print different images on it, and then they stack up all the layers. So when you look through the assembled panes of glass with all the different things on it, all the different inks and whatever they printed on it, it's like a 3D image. It's really cool.
That sounds neat. Okay, I think I
I
might
don't
have
know if
seen
you
one of
can
these before.
visualize that. But
Yeah, where you have like slice. It's basically you have slices of the depth of field within a
right.
artwork, and they face it all the same direction. And you get, oh, that's neat.
It's so cool, man. I love glass so much. I mean, if you couldn't tell, I'm really passionate
Who
about
would have
it.
known glass could be so interesting? Do you know they have a whole island in Venice where they put the glass makers?
Mm-hmm. Do you know why?
Because they didn't want to burn the city down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were pissed.
Like,
fucking
you
pissed.
guys have to go over here.
They were setting up shops and burning down parts of the city, and they were like, "Hey, how about you don't do that? There's an island right there.
You guys go burn yourselves down.
Yeah, it's the island of Murano, which is where
Yes, that's what it's called.
Venetian glass comes from.
It's a pretty cool place.
I want to go there. I want to go there very badly.
It's really neat. Got a short demonstration of, somebody blowing glass.
Yeah, like the real way too.
Yeah.
The OG way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You just have all these different shops around, and there's some beautiful stuff there.
Oh my God. Yeah. Italian glass is so good. It's so good. I love it. I love glass.
I couldn't tell. Not in the least bit.
And there's so many applications from, science and technology to medicine to fucking astrophysics. Like, you need glass to build a telescope to look at the stars. You need glass. Corning Glass in New York developed the windows on the space shuttle.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, we need something that's not going to explode in the vacuum of space. And Corning's like, I think, all right, I'll figure it out.
We got this.
It's made out of like a quartz glass composite, something. Really cool stuff.
Did you ever make a Prince Rupert drop?
I tried. I did try the other day. It's not possible in Boro, and if it is, you have to do something different than how they're normally made.
That's a pretty amazing
Super cool
phenomenon, I would call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know what that is, go look it up. It's pretty neat.
Prince Rupert's drop. Yeah, Smarter Every Day has a really good video on that. He shoots a bullet at one.
Yeah, unbreakable unless you clip the tip on it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just explodes. Physics. Should have paid more attention in school. I could tell you how it works.
I was gonna say it sounds like you're describing me, but this is a family show.
Is it though? I don't know.
I don't know. Is it?
These.
I think I have my limit of cuss words if this is a family show.
Nah, it's not a family show.
Okay.
This one is for the true listeners. So if you're still here with us, folks, I really appreciate you. This one is for the real fans.
You know, I appreciate you too. I do.
This is
just listening to my ramblings of glass.
Yeah, this one is definitely less the standard episode of like, well, tell me about your business and all this kind of thing. It's like, we're just shooting it here. Come on.
Yeah, we're just chilling.
It's the same thing as like what we do at hanging out at the bar at Higher Ground or whatnot, right?
Yeah, except less Graham Hancock.
Less Graham Hancock and no tomato soup. Yeah, you kind of have a beef with that guy, huh?
Not really.
A little bit.
All right, I do. I do a little bit. I still love him, but it's, yeah.
What changed? What changed your mind? His begging for money? Or his it was his whininess. That's what it was.
Yeah, he's just whiny.
He's like, shut up, man. Just give us the details. And
yeah, I'm like, shut up. You talk about cool stuff. Like, I also want to know about ancient cultures that may or may not have existed.
Don't we all?
That would be really cool, but I don't need to hear you talk about.
I'm being oppressed.
Yeah, mainstream media doesn't like me. I'm like, maybe because you whine all the time.
I mean, they also kind of don't like him. But yes, let's focus on finding those lost civilizations.
That'd be cool. That'd be super cool.
I hope we find Atlantis in our generation. That would be neat.
I hope so too.
That'd be really cool. See what's up.
I want to do archaeology. I want to do more archaeology in Montana. Because I think there's a lot of cool stuff up here.
There definitely is, like the Sage Wall.
Don't even get me started on the Sage Wall, man. Oh my god.
Have you been there?
I mean, real archaeology. I have not been there. I want to go there. I think it's a cool thing.
It's a cool, naturally occurring formation.
It is naturally occurring, and I won't budge.
All right, fair enough. I'm on the fence. I don't know. I haven't been there. I haven't seen it with my own eyes.
All right. We'll go together. We should do a podcast from the Sage Wall.
Hey, there's an idea.
We'll do a follow-up.
Okay. Take a trip out there. I was talking about it with somebody the other day. It'd be fun to go out there.
I mean, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous out there.
It's outside of Red Lodge, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Montana's just gorgeous in general.
It's true. There's a lot of neat things here.
Mm-hmm.
I caught this video yesterday of it's like this girl going around. She's like, we're just going to look at the map. We're going to look at, like, do the Google Street View of places in Montana until we find some place that's ugly. She's like, we haven't found it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, that would take a while.
It is a gorgeous state. We're lucky to live here.
Definitely.
And if you think it's a gorgeous state and you want to move here, call this guy.
Hit O'Brien.
I'll help you out.
He'll find a house for you.
I hope that...
Or property.
Yeah, one of them. Anything you want.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. A business? Do you want a business? We got businesses. Be like that guy in the alley and just be like,
I got businesses for sale.
I got businesses. I got homes. What do you want? What do you want? I'm not Russian. Don't.
He's taking his time.
Hey. All right. Well, what other glass-related things are you excited about?
Classes. I'm excited to learn more. I'm really excited to learn more about different techniques that I have no idea about, and just absorb like specific ways of doing things, if that makes sense. There's this guy called his name's Yushin, or that's what he goes by, is Yushin on Instagram.
Okay.
He sells his pieces from $40,000 to $100,000.
Whoa.
Yeah. He's insane.
Let's get you to that level.
Right. Well, he's teaching a class
Oh.
at Mixed Medium, which is the studio that I went to in Denver that I was talking about earlier.
The one where you got this marble?
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
So he's teaching a class there that I would really love to attend. I think it's like $1,000 for a 3-day class. It's not too bad. But he does wigwags. He does like line work, very complicated line work. He does really simple line work, but it's perfect. I mean, it's like it looks perfect.
All right.
And I'm like, I know how he's doing it. I know the technique, but I don't know exactly how he's doing it, if that makes any sense at all. There's nuances
Right.
to techniques.
No, I get that. Yeah.
And even though we're doing the same thing, they look vastly different.
Sure.
So I want to go and learn, exactly how he does that. So I'm excited to learn more. I'm also excited to teach. I do really want to set up some kind of class for people in the Bitterroot to learn how to blow glass, to learn
That'd be awesome.
bead making,
Yeah.
or anything.
I mean, teaching really is one of the best ways to learn even more, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it gives you the opportunity to really hone in on what a particular, like if you're teaching any technique or skill or something like that, it's like you want to find the best way to convey that. And so then it makes you think even deeper about what's happening in that particular instance. And you go, I think I just realized even more key points to what's going on here.
Well, and I think, to add to that, for me, it's about exposing people to the art form, to the craft. Because when I was in high school, I had this idea of, I'm going to be a percussion performance major when I leave college. I'm going to go through school being a musician. Like I had this whole idea of what my life would be. And when I found glass, it just completely flipped it on its head. I was like, hold up, I don't want to do music, anymore in the sense of like being academic. I still played music a lot, but I just really wanted to pursue the glass thing. Like it's something that I never considered. It's something I never thought of. And then Bill and Ray showed me like the magic of glass. And I was just like, oh my God, this is what I've been looking for,
That's awesome.
And so I want to give that opportunity to other people, other high school kids in the Valley, and just, show them that this is a thing that you can make money at. This is a career that you can go down. There's so much to it. You don't have to make pipes. You can do the printmaking on glass. You can make chandeliers. You can go into the science and technology field of it.
Yeah.
You can go work at Corning and start developing new formulas of glass that might be used on, some Starship Enterprise in the future. I mean,
right?
There's so much to it. I want people to realize that.
Yeah, that's super important around here, especially that to give more people more opportunity to explore different career paths. When I was graduating high school, it's basically you're going to college. Like that was kind of the whole thing. It's like, well, I mean, there's more to the world too.
There's so much more. And that was, my parents never forced me to go to college. That it was just something that I thought that I needed to do.
Well, you're told this, from starting from like 6th grade. They have the counselors and everything coming in all the time and going, we got to find what you're good at and what your career should be, and this is what you need to think about. You need to apply for college and get scholarships and yada yada yada.
Yep.
But not really much in the way of vocational training or doing other things outside of that. And, there's obviously people that see a different path in college already, but, some people that a lot of, like I didn't know when I was a kid. I'm like, I don't know, so I have no idea. And I was like, okay, I guess I have to go to college. That's what they're telling me to do. I did for a year, and I hated it.
Wait, you only made it a year?
Well, I went to Montana State University for a year after I graduated high school, and I was like, this is just like high school.
I thought the same exact thing. I went for 1 year, and then I left.
It's like, I don't want to take the first semester I did terribly. because I was like, okay, I have to do electives and all this thing, and then the second semester, I just took, since I knew I wasn't coming back, kind of at the beginning there, I was just like, all right, I'll just take all the classes that I want to take. I got like straight A's.
Good for you, man.
It's like, all right,
That's
I
great.
guess I don't. This is not where this is not where I should be.
Yeah.
I got to be somewhere else. And then I went to culinary school after that. And that was
Nice.
a very different experience. Yeah, it's it would be similar to going to a glass school for 2 years or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
And because my day was spent getting up, going to going and cooking for 8 hours in a class. That was it. And each class had a different focus. Like we had a cakes class, we had a breads class, yada yada yada. So
was that in Montana?
No, it was in Hyde Park, New York.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Culinary Institute of America.
Nice.
And so the whole thing, like, its whole focus was food. And your classes were basically just 8 hours a day cooking, doing different things, different focus for each class. And
Sorry, I'm paying attention.
the sound of the universe.
Get more comfortable.
And and that was it. And I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it was challenging and rewarding and very hard at times, but also, I was in there doing, I was working with my hands and doing stuff and not just like sitting going, I gotta take this note and okay, this is gonna be on the test, and, this kind of thing. It was.
I remember one class when I was going to school for music, and the teacher literally said, "You will never need to know this information, except for this class. If you want to pass this class, you have to know." And it was something like the old way. I don't know if you know how they notate. You know how they notate music.
Yeah.
With like quarter notes and eighth notes and 16th notes and like the staffs and the bass clef and treble clef. It was the before version of that. And she was like, "Nobody writes music like this anymore, but you still have to learn it." And that I remember that moment, I was like, "All right, I'm out." That SpongeBob. Have you seen that SpongeBob meme when he's like, "All right, I'm out." Like that was me getting up.
Like, all right, I'm gone. Yeah, it's like, as soon as you lead with something like that, you're going, okay, you're never going to use this information,
I'm like,
but you have to take.
Why am I here?
Yeah, you have to take this class in order to get your degree. And so you have to learn this information just to pass this class so you can get your degree. It's like, what an exercise in futility and BS. It's like, I'm not going to waste my time. It feels like such a waste of time in that case, right?
Well, it was a waste of time. I shouldn't say that. What I did with the time was a waste. Let's put it that way.
Fair. That's a very insightful view on it.
I mean, I started smoking cigarettes when I went to college. I was doing drugs. I was drinking like every night. My buddies were brewing some hooch in their dorm room, and they got in trouble for it with the RAs. It was not good. It was not a productive time for me.
Yeah.
And I was paying for it. You you got to pay tuition. I was living in the dorms, so
yeah.
And I also I'm going to apologize publicly to John, my roommate, because he was very into school. He was like, "I'm going to get good grades." He was going down that path, and for me, being his roommate was not a good idea. We were like really good friends in high school. We still are really good friends, but I'm just apologizing to John because I was a little bit of a menace freshman year of college. Just busting down the door. I was like, "Yo!" And he's like, "Dude, I'm sleeping." I'm like, but dude, but I'm like drunk. And there's a party out, at Craig Hall. And he's like, "No.
No, man.
So,
I
sorry, John. I still love you, though.
Yeah. I mean, college has its benefits. Of course, there's also a lot of people.
Oh, dude. Yeah, John. You should have John on the podcast. He's from here, and he lives in the Netherlands now.
Really?
And he's doing... Oh, he's going to kill me if I don't get this right. But it's like... it's like a science and technology field, but it's the ethics and also the psychology of implementing technology in an ethical way, like, for example, VR headsets.
Yeah.
and what does it mean for education to bring this technology into the educational field? I don't know. I'm explaining it horribly.
You're screwing it all up, man.
It's so esoteric, though. Every time he talks to me about it, I'm like, yeah.
I just glaze over.
I mean, I kind of get it, but it's so complicated and so interesting. I'm just like, God damn. But that's an example of someone going to college,
Oh, 100%.
Getting their degree in what they wanted, and now he lives in the Netherlands. He's working for some giant tech company.
Well, good for you, John. Good job.
Yeah. It's great.
You found your path. It's important, too, I think, to have...
Right. But he's a different kind of person, than me.
Yeah.
He wanted to do that, and I wanted to not do that.
You just want to have a good time.
I just wanted to blow glass and hang out.
Well, now you're doing that.
And now I get to do that, which is so wild to me.
Not everybody finds their path immediately, Some people are born with that luck, I guess, where... I don't know if it's luck or whatever it is.
Is someone vacuuming next door?
Yeah, we have a shared space. This isn't exactly the most soundproof studio. I hope it's not being picked up in the mic. It might not be.
I don't think so. I don't hear it in the mic or in the headphones.
Yeah.
Oh, well. It's more ASMR, I guess.
It is what it is. Hey, so if you're hearing the vacuum cleaner on the show, folks, I do apologize. That's just another reason to like and subscribe and give me a follow and all that kind of stuff, so we can upgrade our studio.
Hey,
with the income we get, please support our channel so we can do cooler things. Have a quieter studio. Help us. Help me to help you. How about that?
Yes, let's help Ryan get a new studio. 'Cause that'd be dope. Also,
all right, pitching over. What's up?
I was like, I'm doing the podcast today. I have merch.
Merch. What is that? WeredGlass.
WeredGlass.
Ooh, I like it. Look at that.
I don't know if the camera can see it.
Is it picking up? Let me see. Yeah, we got it. Where can someone buy those?
WeredGlass.com/shop.
WeredGlass.com/shop.
WeredGlass.com.
.schlop.
Yes. WeredGlass.com/shop. There's only like 5 on the website, so.
Hey, limited edition.
Ooh, I like that.
Try a little Haunted Waters bourbon whiskey.
Let's do it.
It is.
This can be your first 5-hour podcast.
Lolo. This is from Lolo Creek Distillery.
I should have brought something local. I did not.
It's all right. It's all right. Nice local stuff that a buddy of mine left at my house. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Nick. Funny story. Well, it's not really that funny.
Do tell.
Well, your podcast is about local things.
Yes. Is that enough? Do you want more?
Do you want ice?
A little ice. Here, get a little more. I'm kind of stingy on that. Yes, it is about local things. I like to feature local people that are doing neat stuff.
So I washed my hands, by the way. So.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Not that the whiskey won't sterilize it.
Oh, yeah. I was just thinking, how do you feel about people? This might get you in trouble.
Uh-oh.
How do you feel about people turning left on State Street?
People turning left onto State Street?
No, onto 93 from
State.
State.
From State? Oh, okay.
The light is right there.
We're going.
Go to Main Street.
We're going down this road, huh?
Stop
Bro,
turning left.
I can go on about traffic around here for days. This is a huge sticking point for me.
Well,
okay,
I'm glad.
We're going down this
the
road.
only topic.
Which one is this one?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. I had the blue.
Mine, yeah.
Okay, listen. I completely understand. We're going down this road, folks. I completely understand that there's been a lot of influx of people into this valley, and we have poorly planned for future growth around here. Very poorly planned.
Correct.
We'll just start from the beginning. My personal opinion is that we should never have made Highway 93 into 4 lanes, that we should have found an alternate route through the entire valley
Hot take.
that circumvents every town, so you don't have to go through every town just to get to Missoula. right? Imagine how much less traffic there would be in Hamilton if you didn't have to go through Hamilton to get through the other side of Hamilton.
Facts. Straight facts.
And the way things are growing, it's going to take 2 hours to get to Missoula, probably in 10 years.
I mean, ever since 2019, I was like, this town does not have the infrastructure
Oh, no.
for all of you people.
No. Absolutely
Beautiful
not.
people.
Dude.
I love everybody who moves here, but
No, I'm
just
not knocking the people that live here
don't
and moved here.
have the room
No,
in the Bitterroot.
I completely agree. It's listen, I understand you want to live here, and I'm happy for it. I want people to move here. It's brought a lot of cool things to this valley that we have an influx of people from other places. We have cool restaurants popping up, cool people doing cool
I have
things.
more customers for my glass.
Exactly. We need this sort of stuff around here. However, I mean, I wish we could turn back the clock, right? Because if we could have a route that goes outside of every town to get to Missoula, and I remember one of the arguments against the widening of the road was that it was going to kill small business, because part of the thing was like, we need them to come through town so they can see us and stop. Well, guess what? Amazon did that for you. And then, okay, so that's that whole thing about that. I know we're a little far gone to be able to change the whole routing of that. You know, there's way too much private property in between everywhere now for people to, or for the government to come in and buy stuff.
That's the part that I don't understand, because I don't have any knowledge of, you know, how highways work or private property and this or that. I don't know anything about that. I just have complaints.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Well, so a lot of things. What with 93, what would had to have happened is the federal government, because it's a U.S. highway, would have to buy, or maybe it's a state, one of the two, a combination maybe, would have to buy the properties or whatever amount of land they would need to build the road on, which would cost a significant portion of money, because they'd have to buy it from private landowners and do that whole thing, and put easements through. But yes, this whole thing of turning left out of State Street, I totally get. My dream, which could still be possible, would be to shut down Main Street for cars from the intersection at Main to, or maybe from
Like Second.
First Street, Second Street, and Third Street. Or Second Street, Third Street to Fourth Street. So you have those 2 blocks in there for pedestrians only. Then you could have outdoor seating for all the restaurants and cafes that are around there.
Be nice.
How cool would that be?
Be nice.
You could have little like shops in the middle of the street. You could turn it into like a pedestrian thoroughfare, which would be amazing, I think.
That reminds me of like San Jose, because it's the only place that I can think of that I've been that has that.
Yeah,
where it's only pedestrians, and then they have the trolley that comes through. They got the tramway or whatever.
I mean, we could have some dude with a 4-wheeler that pulls you 2 blocks if you really want it.
Or the horse-drawn carriage that we only get to ride during Christmas and daily days.
Yeah,
Come on,
right?
come on.
Then you could turn State Street, because that's a nice through street there. You know, no stop signs all the way to 8th.
Yep.
And you could turn that, right turn only onto the highway, and then obviously you could still left turn there if you want to off of 93, First Street, and then
I call it 93.
and then come down to Pine, because there's a light here at Pine. Make that the left turn.
Yep.
Onto northbound, if you're coming from the west side of the town.
So when are you gonna run for mayor?
Oh boy, I don't know if the mayor could even fix it. It's gonna be like that would be a whole like
You know what the mayor does?
master of the universe sort of thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
I know.
Damn.
But yes, I do. I distinctly recall, because I moved away in 2009, and would come back, every so often to visit, but I didn't come back. I moved back here officially in 2021, and it blew my mind when I had to wait for 2 cycles at the light at Fairgrounds Road. I remember I was driving.
Fairgrounds? Dude, forget it.
Oh, that place is the worst.
By the way, they just implemented the left turn arrow if you're heading north.
Oh, finally.
They put that light in when I was in high school. That's more than 10 years ago. I'm not going to say how many more than 10, but it's more than 10. They just this year, 2025. They're like, oh yeah, we have that. It's
Oh,
been there.
we should do that.
It's been there the entire time. And every single time that I want to go to Walgreens, because I live south of Walgreens, I have to drive north. But I'm like, I'm not going to turn at the light because, yeah, there's an arrow, but it doesn't work. It never works. But it works now.
Good.
Hallelujah.
Did they change the timing on that too? Because I know that the north southbound traffic side, that light is so friggin' short.
It is pretty short, but I think the one on Fairgrounds it's activated by the cars on the side. So if there's no cars on the side, then it just stays green. You know what I mean? East west.
In theory.
I mean, it doesn't change automatically.
No, yeah, I don't know, but
I think that's the same with the one on Pine Street and the one at Southtown Pump.
Yeah, that one I always have a problem with. Yeah, the one car that shows up and it shuts it down for ever.
That was me. That used to be me because I used to go south to go home. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what to do other than
it's just
complain about it.
But who's our city planner? Who's doing this?
Well, that's the funny thing.
Who do I yell at? Who do I write a formal letter to?
Just go stand in front of City Hall and I'm angry.
Well, I don't know. Are they outsourcing it? Are they getting contractors to come in and do this work?
Well, this is the challenging thing about it because 93 is it's state. So yeah, that's right. It is state. So it's managed by the state. So we have a state highway that runs through the middle of the town that the city of Hamilton can do nothing about.
So we got to go to Helena.
Not necessarily nothing, but it's
You're telling me we got to go to Helena.
Yeah, or some, because they don't have governance over that road because it is not city property. Unlike if you get, that's why 93 is always nice and clean.
Oh, because
and then you turn onto any other street here, and it's just a rocky road of ice for probably until June this year.
I think we should make a bet now.
How long the snow's gonna last?
Yep,
that's a good one.
I'm saying late June, like almost July.
Like the snow here on the valley floor?
No, I mean like the piles they piled up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, it depends. Yeah, I don't know.
Late June.
I might be really
July.
Exaggerating, but it could. I don't know. It might be May. I would think May, sometime like the first week of May, because it's
global warming.
We're gonna get a nice bit of warm weather,
climate change,
and then a bunch of rain, and firestorm, and all of this because of. No, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be, but no, I mean that's kind of what happens around here, though. Like we're going to get a nice week of warmer weather and rain, and then it's all going to go away,
and then it's going to freeze,
and then it's going to freeze, and then we're going to get a bunch of flooding. I bet we're going to get a lot of flooding this year. That's
Probably.
My bet,
dude. It hasn't stopped snowing in the mountains.
No, I mean that's good. We need it.
I mean,
we need it.
I know we need it,
But yeah, like I said,
that water has to go somewhere.
Well, as long as it melts off slowly, we're good. But I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think that's.
I think it's going to be
one
quick thing of like we're going to get 60-degree weather and rain for like a week or two, and it's going to just get rid of everything in the mountains and the valley, and the highway is going to shut down because it's flooded and
it's horrible here. We should move. We should move out of Montana.
Well, I mean, no.
No, I'm staying.
I don't want to move.
I'm sorry.
I like it here. I know I complain about it sometimes, but it's also just so damn beautiful.
It is so beautiful. And for me, it's home. You know what I mean? I was born at Marcus Daly.
Were you really?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm. I was born at Marcus Daly. I've lived here my whole life. I moved, heavy quotes, to Washington to go to school for a few months. And I also lived in Missoula, for a year in the dorms.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never moved away.
Yeah.
Completely, And it's really hard to. I can travel. That's the one thing that I'm like, yeah, okay. Hamilton doesn't have a cool nightclub scene, but I'm not going nightclubbing.
Hey.
And I can drive my car anywhere I want to go to a cool nightclub.
If you really want to.
If I really want to, and I really don't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm an old man.
Nothing wrong with that.
I want to stay inside, drink whiskey, just chill, man. Just chill.
It's a good time of year for that. I do. I do love it when there's snow like this on the ground
And backpacking. Oh, yeah. My buddy Brandon got me into backpacking last year. Was it 2 years ago? Last year. That is. I love that. I love that so much.
Where'd you go?
So we went to Kidney Lake the first
okay.
time. Camas.
Mm-hmm,
Camas Kidney.
I've been up there.
It's epic. It is so epic. And you can keep going, too. We just went off trail and just went, like, straight up the mountain. And we eventually got to the top, and we could overlook Kidney Lake, and there's a little island in the middle, and you could see our campsite way at the bottom.
nice.
So good, man.
That was one of my first backpacking hikes as well as Camas.
Camas.
Oh man, that was a challenge.
Not as hard as Blodgett Canyon? Canyon Creek? I think it's Canyon
Creek. Oh yeah, where it's that.
Yeah, the one behind Blodgett.
Yep.
I went with Mike, and we were looking at the thing, the All Trails, the stats, I guess, of this trail.
Yeah.
And it looked easy. It was like maybe 1,000 feet elevation gain. It was only a couple of miles. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. It was just kind of a random. We just decided to go and do it. And it turns out that all of the elevation is at the last, 0.1 miles. So we're going along. I'm like, wow, we're almost there. We only have not that much left to go. But at the very end, it's just straight up. And there's not really a trail. I mean, you are kind of just climbing up a mountain. And I had not been backpacking that much. I'm still new to it. And I wanted to kill him. I wanted to kill him that day.
Why did you bring me here?
He left me, and I'm like wheezing on the side of this mountain, just totally exposed, with a 50-pound pack on. I'm just like, I thought I was going to die. I did not die. I made it to the lake, and it was beautiful.
It's worth it, yeah.
But I'm not going to backpack there. We passed a lot of day hikers, and I was like, that makes sense. Like just going up for the day because it's not that far.
Yeah, I like Canyon Creek. That's a good hike. I think that's one of my favorite hikes in the summer.
It's awesome.
The canyons are great in the summer.
Yeah.
It's nice and cool, and Blodgett Canyon's a good one too. Yep. There's a lot of people on that one though.
The people. We did go to Turquoise Lake in the Missions.
Ooh.
That was a really long hike, but it was way easier. It was like 6 times the distance, but the elevation gain was so gradual. It was like easy.
Makes a big difference.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. Yeah. Turquoise Lake. If you can go to Turquoise, oh man, that was when the windstorm came. Actually, here we were out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were at the lake at Turquoise Lake, and we could see the edge of that windstorm coming. It was really scary being out there because you're so exposed.
Yeah, I could imagine.
And thankfully, it did not go over us. It kind of just skirted next to us, and we were like, "Oh, that's kind of crazy." And then we spent, 3 days out there. And as we're getting back into service, all of our phones are blowing up, and they're like, "It's the apocalypse has happened in Hamilton," and we were like, "What is going on?" And people are sending us pictures of the trees uprooted and buildings smashed, and we were like, what?
That was such a weird day.
I wish I was here for it.
It was odd. I was working at a house. I was working in a house down in Darby, and I was cleaning up the yard and collecting some stuff, and I remember just feeling odd, and I'm out there, and the wind kind of picks up a little bit, and it starts blowing directly to the west. Like directly to the west. I'm going, this isn't right. This is weird. What is happening? And then I needed to run down to RBD to grab some stuff. So I run down there and I get, and it's like, oh, okay. So like some gray clouds and whatever. I wasn't thinking too much of it. I get into the building and I'm just starting to I got to the desk and I was like placing my order with the guys. And then like all of a sudden the power goes out. I was like, oh, what's going on? And we look out the window, just like raging storm outside. It was like 30 seconds between when I went inside, and it was like everything was, I wouldn't say normal because I was feeling weird that the wind was blowing in the direction it was, but power goes out, yada, 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 all this happens, generator kicks on, all right, I get my stuff, and it's like wind's whipping like crazy, so I go back to go back to the house, drop off the stuff, and like branches of trees are starting to fall everywhere. I was like, this is weird. I gotta get home. And then on my way out of town, I see this huge plume of smoke. And this was the fire in Stevi that sparked up. I could see it all the way from Darby. I was like, that's not good.
So actually, we were supposed to go up there. That was the other option.
Oh,
That
lucky
trail,
you.
we were like, do we want to go here or do we want to go somewhere totally new that no one's ever been, us as backpackers? And we just decided, like, I don't know, Turquoise Lake, let's go to that one. That seems cooler, just by chance. And then, yeah, driving back, we were on the highway and we were like, we were supposed to be deep inside of that canyon and it's just on fire. So,
what providence?
yeah, believe in whatever you want to, but
you were protected that day.
Someone's looking over us, man.
That's insane.
Yeah, really happy we didn't go that way because we probably would have been trapped.
Yeah, that would have been
that
bad.
Thing just went up.
Yeah, that was quick.
So yeah, it's a wild day, wild like weekend.
Sounds like
stuff to go down.
Yeah.
I should show you some pictures. I might send you some stuff if you want to.
Yeah, please do. I'd love to see it.
Check it out. Yeah, Turquoise Lake is really awesome.
Yeah, I've never been up there. I haven't spent much time in the Mission Mountains.
It's really
beautiful.
It's
gorgeous out there.
It's really gorgeous, but it's really high elevation.
Yeah,
that was one of the ones where I was like, all right, this kind of sucks. I'm just trying to breathe.
Yeah.
And the mountain goats. We were reading reviews about the mountain goats for that specific trail and landing zone or camping spot, whatever. And every review was like, oh, the hike's great, moderately difficult. It's not that hard. But they're like, just wait till 3 a.m. That's when the mountain goats come out. Every comment was like, oh, the mountain goats are great. Oh, the mountain goats. And we're like, what the fuck is with the mountain goats? So we're camping, and about 3:30, 4 a.m, we just hear just these little feet, these hooves running, like, ripping through our camp. And then they like run by your tent and stop, and then just go, bah! Like, what the hell? And all night they wouldn't let you sleep. They would just
terrorizing you.
Yeah, they just run through camp because that's like their spot.
Right.
And they're like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? We were packing up, and they came to check that we were leaving.
I think they're going.
The mom came up and was standing over, because you're camping up against like a cliff face kind of, and they're like way up above you. And the mom's looking down. She's like, you better get out of here. You gotta leave.
You pitch your tent right on top of my favorite patch of grass.
Right at my bathroom.
Yeah.
I camped in their bathroom, and I'm not ashamed to admit that.
Mm.
It had really good wind protection, so little mountain goat poop, whatever. It's protein.
Were you eating it?
Oh, you don't?
I mean, no. I think you need to talk to your buddy that you're going camping with. I think you might need
Damn it, Brandon.
need some pointers.
I thought we were supposed to eat the poop. Right.
He's like, oh, it's hazing.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't do that.
It's got a nice grassy flavor to it.
We did collect some of the wool, the mountain goat wool.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. There's little patches, like little...
Yeah, just a little fluff that comes off.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's on like the weed.
Mm-hmm.
The weeds that grow out there. The branches stick out and kind of grab when they walk past. And we had like a big pile. Like we could have made one sock.
And joined the goats?
Yes.
Just put it on your head.
Become one of them.
Become one with the mountain
goats.
goats.
I would live out there. The Mission Mountains are so gorgeous. Ugh.
What would you eat, though? Aside from mountain goat poop?
The mountain goats. I would just eat the goats.
Fair enough.
Or berries. There's a lot of berries out there. There's so many huckleberries. So many huckleberries. Holy shit.
Don't say that on the air. People will swarm the spot.
Well, they don't know exactly where.
Fair enough. Huckleberries don't grow around here at all,
Nope.
so you should not go looking for them.
Never seen one.
Never heard of a spot anywhere near here within 100 miles.
Do you know what thimbleberries are?
Yes, and I love them. They are delicious.
I think thimbleberries are better than huckleberries. I know that's a hot take,
dude.
but
You're gonna start some fights.
I think thimbleberries are way better than huckleberries. So take that, internet.
They are easier to eat en masse. Huckleberries take a lot of time.
Yeah, but thimbleberries are harder to collect.
You think?
You don't get as many. Yeah, thimbleberry
True.
patch,
There's only a couple
get like
per plant.
10
Yeah, that's true.
on a plant. Huckleberries, you could just reach your hand in and,
But then you
just shake the bush.
Fair enough. Thimbleberries are good though.
They're very delicious. I had salmon berries. Is that what they're called in Washington?
I believe that's called caviar.
Touche. I think they are called salmon berries. They're like white raspberries. They look like white raspberries.
Really?
I'll
Okay.
look it up on my phone real
I've
quick.
never heard of these. Do they taste like salmon?
No.
Why are they called salmon berries?
The color? I don't know. I know this is
Oh, they're kind of like a salmon-y. Interesting. What about service berries? Do you like service berries?
I don't know what a service berry is.
Grows on a tree.
Yeah, salmon berries. They're kind of like orangey.
Oh yeah, it is a raspberry-ish. Like a blackberry, raspberry-looking thing.
Mm-hmm. They're pretty good.
Huh.
Those were in Washington. I don't know. Someone told me. They're like, oh, yeah, it's salmon berries. And I was like, what?
Bullshit.
And I thought they were unripe raspberries when I saw them. I was like, nah, they're not ripe yet. But they were like, no, that's...
And they're good?
They're decent.
They're decent.
Not as good as thimbleberries.
All right. Start a whole new wave here. Thimbleberries over huckleberries.
They're so good. They taste like jam.
They do.
They taste like
They are really good.
preserves.
They are really good.
Like pre-made preserves. They're so good.
I don't know. I'm quite fond of the huckleberry.
Huckleberries are good, but I think huckleberries taste better if they're in something.
Fair enough.
Tell me if you agree with that or not.
No.
All right. You just
No.
like them straight?
Just like, oh yeah. If you can find them, which is super hard to do, and they're very rare.
So hard.
Very, very rare. They don't hardly grow around here anywhere.
Well, there's only a 2-day window when you can pick them.
It's true. And you don't...
Sorry, 2 hours.
Yeah, you don't know when that's going to be unless you've been... unless you've, like, really tuned yourself into Montana life and what it is to grow up around here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sorry to say, but if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, stick to the gift shops.
Yeah. Yeah, get those huckleberry chocolates or whatever.
Get the moose poop. You know they sell that?
The moose poop. I forgot about the moose poop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking moose poop. And you're like, what? I'm sure people that come here are so confused. They're like, wait a minute. Because I feel like they're like, I wouldn't put it past Montanans to actually sell moose poop.
That's fair.
And then they read the ingredients and they're like, oh, it's huckleberries and chocolate.
It's pretty tasty.
They are good. People from Montana are different, man. They're weird. They're a bunch of weirdos. Me included.
It's true.
Hence
We are a strange group of people.
WeredGlass, but
That's why I always said when I was traveling, I'd always say I'm from Montana over anywhere else, right? Like,
yeah.
people would ask me where I'm from. You know, most of the time, Americans would be like, America. I go specifically Montana.
That's how to do it.
That's right. We're proud of this place.
Yeah, proud of this place. You know what?
It's a good place to be.
We do some strange things sometimes.
Yeah.
As in, well,
Eating
I
moose
don't
poop.
want to make it political, but we contradict ourselves a lot.
I mean,
I mean Montana as a whole. We pass some things and we don't pass other things.
yeah, it is pretty
And
interesting. We're like,
It's weird. I'm like, really? Okay.
yeah, for a red state, I would say we're very liberal. It's like we're all about,
Freedom.
honestly, yeah. It's like we're
Just freedom.
do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't bring it onto my property. Right?
That's a good way to put it. Yeah,
You know,
pretty much.
have your guns, have your gay marriage, go smoke your weed, drink your whiskey.
Yep.
You can do it all here, folks. But you can't find
But you
huckleberries anywhere in the Bitterroot Valley.
Facts.
I better stop saying that. They might think I'm joshing.
We're not. We're totally not joshing, man.
All right, going back to the traffic thing real quick.
Yes.
What do you think about people that make right-hand turns out of the center lane? Where they try to merge into the lane.
Do you want to know?
They
Yeah,
pull out, you
no.
know, where you see it all the time, where they pull out.
Do you want to know what I actually think?
Left-hand side. What do you actually think?
I think that those people should not be driving.
Couldn't agree more.
Don't do that. Because I would like to turn left. Because I go to U.S. Bank. You didn't hear that from me. It just happens to be on the left side of the highway, okay? And people coming out of Super 1 are turning left onto the highway to get into the northbound lane. And I'm like, dude, get out of my way.
That's why there's arrows in there that point directly left,
Right.
no matter which way
not
you're
emerging.
going.
It's not a merging lane.
a merging lane. I can't stress that
It's a
more.
turning lane.
Yes.
So if you can't make it into the north or southbound turning left, then you're not allowed to.
But Elijah, traffic's so bad, I have to go out there in order to get the other one.
All right, I've done it before. Is that what you wanted me to say?
I was just trying to get. It's a gotcha moment. That's what that was.
I have definitely done that before when traffic is, pretty heavy, and I'm not proud of it.
I just make a right-hand turn and go somewhere else and turn around.
Well, I was gonna say, I just turn the other way and then go into a different parking lot so I can turn right, going the correct way.
That is the most correct method of doing it, folks.
Okay.
I'll tell you that. That's personal opinion. I get it. But also, the center lane is for left turns only.
Yes, it is. You can't. I mean, you shouldn't do that. It's just bad.
Now tell me one other thing. I'm going to try to out you here.
Okay.
Do you drive with your fog lights on?
No, I don't think so.
Good.
Why?
Because tons of people do that around here.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, all the time.
It's an odd choice. I don't know if I would get upset about that one, but
Well, it's a different direction of light that's meant for fog, right? For
Mhm.
visibility less than 100 feet.
Yep.
And actually even less than that, I think. But that direction of light shines directly in oncoming traffic in a different way than your headlights do. Yeah.
I did not know
It's
this.
pretty annoying. They're called fog lights for fog, which we don't have a lot of around here.
You know what? Maybe I do drive with them on then.
I
don't
knew
know.
it.
I don't know.
knew
I
it.
put them on auto.
Gotcha.
My car, hey.
Gotcha.
Hey. My car has automatic lights. So when it's dark, they come on. And if it's not dark, they don't come on. And then I have my brights that I can
Well,
flip
even
on
with
or
automatic,
off.
I don't think they come on with automatic lights. You have to pull out the thing usually, or do something specific to turn the fog lights on.
Okay, so I just keep
It's
them
a-
on
it's
auto.
It's a different button,
Okay.
but they are not meant for normal driving. I'm getting very passionate about this thing. I have a thing about driving around here,
I'm glad because I'm also very passionate about this. These driving pet peeves,
bro. Dude,
I get
I-
so mad.
I almost got in an accident today. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is WeredGlass, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Dishwasher safe.
I'm not gonna destroy it. My
No.
angry setting down of the glass.
If this was ceramic, I'd be worried, but it's hard.
There-
So.
Yeah, there's a lot of terrible drivers around here, I tell you.
It's so bad.
And they're, you know what?
Do you know that's a thing? Real quick. 13. The 13ers.
That they're terrible drivers?
Yeah.
No.
So if you get your car registered in the Bitterroot Valley, it's a 13. You get a 13 slapped on your plate.
I am so disappointed by
if
the
you
new.
drive, I swear to God, my brother told me this because my brother lives in Denver, and his friends in Denver would see a license plate that had a 13 on it, and they'd be like, fucking rooters. They don't like us because we don't know how to drive, and it's really sad.
That's not true.
It is.
Some of us do.
That story was true.
That story is true. I do. Okay.
Try.
I'm going to go off on another tangent before I do. I am disappointed in the state of Montana for allowing other license plates to be issued that do not have your county number on them.
But I want mine to say big booty hose.
Okay, listen. If you want to get a personal plate, that's fine. But the whole thing of like these new other plates that do not put counties on them as a non-personalized one, you've seen them. All the other ones.
Yeah.
Other than like the standard issue, the blue one. I think the blue one should just stick with the blue one.
I like it.
The blue one's the greatest.
It's clean.
It's sleek, it's clean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But a lot of these other ones don't have the county numbers on the plates. And damn
It's
it, I
custom.
tell you, It's so much less fun to drive around the state now because now you can't tell who's from where.
Right.
And you can't go,
You can't scream at them.
yeah, damn those people from Bozeman.
Yeah.
Or damn Bitterrooters, right?
People from Missoula.
No, there needs to be an identifying factor for everybody on these license plates so we can tell where you're from so we can shame you properly.
That, I'm not going to tell you what that sounds like, but yeah.
What?
Authoritarianism, dude.
What? Well, on the other hand,
If everyone's got to have a number, I don't know.
everybody does have a number, but now it's less.
Yikes.
It's less indicative
It's
of.
just not on your body; it's on your car. I didn't say that.
It's not on your forehead. I think we're fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we need that. I just think we need better education.
Also, but yes, it is. It makes it more fun when you're driving and you can tell where somebody's from.
Yeah.
I'm like half joking about this whole one. I am disappointed in that fact because it is a lot of fun to be like, oh,
Yeah. I do feel
and also
that.
the thing of like when you're driving on the freeway and you're like, 37. What county is that? You
Right.
know, like
Yep.
there's less road trip games now because of the state of Montana. Thank you
is-
very much.
It is a fun game, and I love playing it. It's funny because I feel you're passionate about this. When I'm driving on the highway and I see a license plate that doesn't have the county number, I'm like, oh,
Yeah, right. See,
we could have
you
been
get it.
Bitterroot Brothers.
Yeah,
but no.
yeah, and then you
We're
see,
Valley County Brothers, but no.
I know
You're from somewhere that I don't know.
you're from.
You're probably
yeah.
from California. Moved to Bozeman. You bought a nice car. It's a Rivian. What do
Definitely.
you think about Rivians?
I don't
'Cause
know.
I think they're ugly as sin.
I like their headlights.
I
They're
think
kinda neat.
Ugly.
The little
Yeah.
elongated circle. What is that shape called? It's not an ellip. It's not
An oval?
It's not an oval though because it's not round. It's like it's got
Oh,
straight edges and then
yeah.
round at the top.
An
Neat
ellipse.
headlights.
That's an ellipse.
Is
I
it an
think.
ellipse?
I think so.
Okay, we'll call it that. I don't know. I've never driven one. I've only ever seen them from a distance.
Hmm.
They look neat.
I don't know. I'm not a fan.
What about the Cybertruck?
I don't know. It looks cool from a distance.
It looks cool in a ditch.
Yeah, I don't know. It does. I mean, it looks pretty bad. It looks like someone. So, when I was in high school, we had this class called Exploring ITE, where we would do like welding, CAD CAM, and woodshop. And in CAD CAM, we were designing cars that we would cut out on the CNC machine, and it looks like a prototype car. It looks unfinished.
Yeah.
It looks really bad. But it does look kind of cool. It has that cool fact. You know, it's like, yeah, it's a truck and it's kind of big and it's boxy, but this was someone's concept idea, so you can't really shit on it that much. It doesn't. I would never buy one. Don't buy one.
Don't buy one. Buy a real truck.
And if you're that person driving the purple one here in town, that one looks kind of cool. I like the custom colors.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one
Yeah.
going up and down. I've
That
seen it
one's
in
pretty
town,
cool.
and then, yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's a
pretty-
stupid truck, so sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. It's. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. How
Just
I
buy
feel
a
about it.
regular truck. What's wrong with a regular truck?
Yeah, go with like a Ford Lightning or something if you want an electric truck. Buy a truck.
Ooh,
Buy a truck.
That's right. Yeah.
Buy a truck that's a truck before it's an electric vehicle.
Yeah, or buy a
Right?
dually, like everyone else used to
Oh,
in the '90s.
Please don't, dude.
Dude, dualies are sick.
They,
They were not cool, and now they're cool
you know why they're cool though?
because they work. Because you can haul shit with it.
Yeah, but how many people have them or hauling things that require you to
I'm
have?
gonna say 5%.
Yeah, probably.
And I know I'm right on that.
Yeah, I'm 100% agree with you on that one. And they're not great in snow. And
Oh. I don't know. I've never owned a truck.
oh, well, fair.
I just have a lot of friends that own trucks, and I've driven a dually, but it's not.
I'll relay to you my opinion on why there's so many dualies around here right now. Yellowstone, because Kevin
Yeah.
Costner's character
Yeah.
drives a dually,
Yeah, he does.
and it wasn't until after that show
And
came.
he's only ever hauled. I've watched the show. He did like 2 runs with a trailer. I think
And
in the show he only ever shows like one or 2 times of him actually towing something. I'm like, if this was real, that guy, Kevin Costner's character, would drive a different car.
Yeah,
You would not take the dually anywhere.
yeah, especially okay.
You wouldn't. I'm sorry.
He's a multi-millionaire rancher.
You would. I'm sorry, you wouldn't.
He
do
probably would drive another vehicle, but at the same time, the character's ego is so big that he has to because he feels that his truck is a
that. I guess if you're
personification
writing
of
that
himself.
into the show, but then that just shows how not authentic it is. It's like
Also, yeah, folks,
I did,
Yellowstone is not really Montana.
It's not. It's horribly obfuscated. Is that a word?
It is a word. I couldn't tell you if it's the right word
I don't know.
off the top of my head, but it sounds right.
Let me know if I use that word correctly. I saw a guy today walking his dog, and he had a Yellowstone film crew sweatshirt on, and he kept like looking over his shoulder. It looked like he was doing something wrong. But
He probably was. He was working for Yellowstone.
Well, I think he was just. He's
Sorry,
like,
Dan.
Well, but I'm like, it's all right, dude. Like, if you don't want to have to look over your shoulder, then just don't wear the shirt. Right?
Brilliant idea.
Just put on a different sweatshirt if you don't want people to scream at you. I did not scream at this guy. I wanted to, but I didn't.
Yeah, I don't have.
Yellowstone has priced me out of ever buying a house or renting for that.
Yeah, the show's pretty bad.
matter.
It's a pretty terrible show. I don't want to shit on the people though that worked on it. One of my very good friends is a camera tech.
Mm.
Oh,
Did it die?
I'm out of memory.
Look at that.
Well,
Get that money, dude. Get that bag if you're on the show. Do it.
I'll pop over here and can I pop in view of the camera? We'll wrap it up right here, folks. Maybe. Hey.
Put it down, flip it, and reverse it.
Our other camera died, or not died. It's out of memory, so we're gonna cut the show off here. I do appreciate you if you stuck around this long for the entirety of it.
It's a bunch of ramblings.
Hey, it's a good time.
I just hope people enjoy it. We're friends hanging out.
That's right. We'll definitely do it again when I get a better setup. So please subscribe to the show, share it, comment, do all the things so we can get better equipment so you can hear us ramble for like 3 more hours, because I know we would. And Elijah, why don't you tell people how to get in contact with you if they want glass stuff or where they can find your stuff?
Yeah, so WeredGlass.com, WERED glass.com /shop. Weird Glass on Instagram, Weird Glass on Facebook, Weird Glass on YouTube. It's spelled the same on all those platforms. Direct message me, weirdglass@gmail.com is our email address. Pipes, cups, whiskey cups, wine cups. If you have a crazy idea, hit me up. I like making new things, so.
Word.
Thank you. Thank
All
you,
right.
Ryan. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. Thanks for
really
being here.
fun.
I appreciate you coming in. We'll definitely do it again when I get some more memory. How about that? And
Cha-ching.
folks,
And sponsors.
I know, right? Hey, if you want to help the show out and you got a local business and you want me to like put your, I don't know, say bottle of whiskey in full view of the camera or something like that, give me a shout out. Anyway, thanks a lot for being here, folks. Catch you next time.